Hi, welcome to my automotive show KG Canadian Enthusiast. Today it's the third episode of season 4. It's about the Mitsubishi Outlander. Is it the worst or is it okay or is it the best? We will find out that today rather clearly. Before start the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Now let's start. The Outlander Sport began production in 2010, 10 years ago, the time when the FIFA World Cup in 2010. Many people remember Ole Ole or Shakira, they will remember the goddamn timeline. It's now been 10 years. That song is still catching on, but some people say the Outlander Sport is not catching on. That is quite interesting because just like the song, the Outlander Sport has positives to it. Many. But let's get one thing straight. Specifications. 5-door SUV, 5 seats, 4-wheel drive and CVT transmissions are distinctive and rather obvious. Trims goes up to GT. I don't know why the GT term is used to describe a trim of a Outlander Sport, but for some reason it is. And there is no hybrid option, there is no plug-in hybrid, and there is no EV either. So any eco-friendliness and eco-mentalists, you are not getting your chance on that department. You are not getting that. What you get is a 2-liter engine with 148 horsepower. Seems reasonable? Fair for me. You get a 2.4 liter with 168 horsepower. Fine. Reasonable. But then again, it's not actually reasonable on that department when it comes on that area, because the Ford EcoSport, similar production line, maybe a 9-year difference versus 2010 to 2011, there's a gap. It has 160 horsepower with a 2-liter engine and it's more frugal. Is it faster? Might be faster. So they are not exactly all new though. One is 9 years in the market, the other one is 10 years in the market. So does the Mitsubishi have a disadvantage on that front? Not quite. The Mitsubishi is more reliable than the EcoSport on that area, and it's far much well known. It's built on North American specifications from the start, whereas the EcoSport was built for emerging markets like Asia and etc. So now it's been sort of reconstructed to meet North American standards, so you sort of expect that to meet. So don't be fooled by that for a second. Do not be fooled on that. Now, of course, one of the areas that people does critique about the Outlander Sport is the interior design, where people say it's dated. I'm going to say it's not dated. If you're buying a Mitsubishi Shogun and not calling it outdated, then the Outlander Sport is probably not outdated. You get plenty of standard equipment, standard features. Yes, you might not get the proximate amount that you get from a Hyundai Venue or a Kia Stolus or a Kia Soul or something like that, but then you can't. Those cost like $21,000 or more. This thing starts below $20,000. Then it ends up around $26,000. So in a general term, then this thing is a fairly cheaper vehicle compared to those. It's distinctive. Now, of course, remember, some might say Mitsubishi is lazy. They are with the Alliance. Why they can't make a version of the Rogue Sport? Well, the Rogue Sport doesn't have anything common with the existing Outlander Sport. That might happen in the future, but at the moment though, that's rather unlikely to happen. Now let's talk about the negatives and the positives, okay? The negatives. It's 10 years in the market, so it's not exactly new. And if you're paying $26,000, let's say, to an Outlander Sport, now you can go second hand and probably buy second hand for far less money. And it takes the longest time to sell in a dealership lot. So that kind of gives you an idea where the Outlander Sport might sort of struggle on that department. And then, of course, the negative is the fuel economy from the 2.4-liter engine is not quite good enough. It's quite bleak. And the 2-liter engine is quite sluggish and slow. And the CVT is obviously rubbish. I mean, I'm going to say rubbish. I hate CVTs. They might be the worst creations of the world, but CVTs are important because of hybrids. If you don't have a hybrid, why would a CVT? That is a question that honestly puzzles me all through all these years. Of course, there are negatives, such as there is one more negative: competition. Well, all of its competition is all new. The Venue, the Soul, the Stolus, the Toyotas and the Nissans, all of them are all new. The Subaru Crosstracks. I can go entire part of this video talking about its rivals. I might even say, if you're living in Asia, the Daihatsu Terios is only 3 years old. How does that sound for a change? That's the problem. But the positives. The positives are value for money. Starts less than $20,000. That's a big money chunker. It's a big chunky monkey money boost. I mean, you think about it for a second. Now, last week I talked about the Toyota Racing and the Daihatsu Rocky, which cost less than $20,000. And it topped out in yen at the same way and in the dollar form. But this is the catch. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport's less price tag also brings another benefit. For that price, you are getting tons of standard equipment. So that's categorizes in. Then it's about what you get mechanically for that money. You are getting a 2.4 liter engine for less than $20,000. Come on, I mean, is that not a good deal? $80,000 and you're getting a 2.4 liter engine. When if you're living in Europe, you're getting a 1 liter engine in your Peugeot 2008 Max. So I mean, obviously you got to understand that logic. I mean, that's something you truly have to. And then it's about reliability. Reliability wise, it's super reliable. It will last long as you want it to be. There is no question about that as well. So the negatives and the positives of the Outlander Sport seems to be reliability and etc. But the negatives are quite obvious. If you are in the market for a subcompact SUV, then you got plenty to choose from. But if you are a up and coming family looking to boost your finances without spending too much money, want the space with 5 seats, space for your children, etc., then the Outlander Sport makes great sense. It costs less money, and if you want to buy brand new, buy second-hand market. It's probably easier, it's cheaper, but you can't have the facelifted model. That is a problem. That is why the Outlander Sport has now been facelifted the 3rd time. It's been like Hollywood star, you know. You can be facelifted many times. Sometimes it works so well. It works so well, you often say they are ageless. But sometimes when it doesn't work, it sucks. You know, it really sucks for the people who does that. It truly does. The Outlander Sport, it actually works. It looks up to date in a certain department. It's not too old, and it's fine on that area. So my final word, it's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's quite okay. In between, if you are up and coming family with not a lot of money to spend, the Outlander Sport makes great financial sense. But if you are looking for the best subcompact SUV, you got plenty more choice in the market. That's reality. So thank you very much for joining me on this show. Hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Thank you very much.